What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? We are back. You guys, we are back. And baby, I got some things to say. Let's get into this Married to Medicine. Let me say hi to the people and let's get ready to get this party started. Um, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get to the chat. Okay. Hey, everybody. Let me say hi to the people and let's get this party started. What's up, Karay Lemon Kush? Oh, shoot. I jumped. Y'all are coming on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, C. Patterson. It was C. Patterson, and we're going to get to that. Hey, Marnie. Maddie Spencer Nitwit. I agree. Everything with Heavenly is hard for me to watch. Sharice Woods. What's up, Nay? Hey, Star. What's up? Hey, Cookie. What's up, Ray? Hey. Mama Mina, Raven. Oh, you know what? Seeing Ray reminds me, I never did finish answering Jay's question in the members only. I'm so sorry, Jay. Jay, if you are here, I said I was going to address it and I never did. But I can address it here. Just remind me, you guys, before I get off of here. Amber, Brittany, Kimberly, Mama Mia, I tried my best with Heavenly, but I can't anymore. I don't see how Dr. Damon does it, child. What's up, Janae? Hey, Yana. Demille. Hello, hello, hello. Benji says hi, too. I cannot wait to meet Benji. Hey, Benji. I cannot wait to meet Benji, you guys. I'm going to meet him next week if the Lord willing. Budget and Ways. Hey, Andre. Naisha. Miss Baything. Keisha. What's going on? Montrez. Okay. If I didn't say hi, charge it to my head, not my heart. Let's get into the things of the things. Hello, everybody. So listen, is it okay if we get to the quad thing at the end? Since that's what we're going to spend most of our time. Let's get through the rest of this episode and then we can get to the whole quad situation at the end, honestly. Because like I said, y'all know that's what we're going to spend the most of our time. And I do want to talk about this Carlos King interview, this Dr. Heavenly Carlos King situation. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into all of that. Okay, El Michelle, thanks for coming in, boo. It's not Mama Mia, it's Mati. But listen, I gotta say it like I say it. Hey, what's up going on? Hold on, y'all, quick second, and then let's get into it. So we know that the episode. All right. So we know that this episode starts off with the whole quad thing. And like I said, we're gonna get to the quad thing at the end. So let's just jump to the next day when all the ladies are getting ready to go to Toya's big meeting with Kendall Jackson. Now let me start with the fact that Dr. Jackie is meeting with Vice President Kamala Harris as it relates to the mortality rate for Black women in childbirth being higher than white women. Now I'm gonna say this. So it's Mama. I thought that it's like you said it rhymes with Tatiana, like Mama. But I feel like I'm okay. I don't know how else to say it then, because that's what it sounds like to me. I feel like I'm saying Mama Mina, Tatiana, Mama Yana. That's what I'm supposed to be saying, Mama Yana, like Tatiana. That's what it means. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to remember to say Mama Yana, like Tatiana. Okay, I'm gonna try my best. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna try to say it like that. Mamiana. Mamiana, like Tatiana. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Okay. Thank you, Nisi, for getting me together. As always. Y'all know Nisi always got it. Y'all know how she do me. So, Dr. Let me say this. That's a great thing that Dr. Jackie was meeting with Kamala Harris about. That was a very, 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 very good thing. Y'all know that I don't dislike Dr. Jackie, but I also do not put Dr. Jackie on a pedestal. I do not think that Dr. Jackie is this perfect person. I still go back to that season with Buffy, and I know that they have their version of the story and Buffy has her version of the story. And whenever there's two versions of a story, you have to decide who you choose to believe. And for me, where I sit, I choose to believe Buffy. Now, And what I mean by that is I still feel like they used Buffy's uterus as a storyline without her permission. That is where I sit with it. I'm not going to get into, well, did Buffy tell Dr. Jackie or did Buffy tell Dr. Simone? Buffy's version of the story is she told Dr. Simone, and Dr. Simone shared her medical information with Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Jackie used it in that platform. Yana, y'all can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me. Yana said, can y'all hear anything? So please let me know if y'all can. I figured y'all can hear me because y'all would have said something. Yana, check your settings, boo. Okay. Okay. They said they can hear. Check it. Go out and come back in. Check your settings, babe. So that's where I choose this. That's where I choose to land with it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Do I think that there was malice involved? No. I do not think that there was malice involved, but what I can say is sometimes the malice doesn't matter. Whether it was your intent, that I had to have this conversation earlier with Pam. Y'all gonna hear about this later on when we talk about Jonathan Majors. Whether the intent was to harm or not, did it harm? And that is the answer. So again, that is where I sit with it. Again, some people choose to believe Dr. Jackie. That's fine. That's what life is all about. Do I think that makes Dr. Jackie a monster based on that one example? No. Now I know that I know Buffy has more animosity, but again, she lived it. I didn't. She went through that season. I didn't. What I will say though is this: I did see a clip with Dr. Jackie speaking on people potentially lying, women, I should say, potentially lying about their pain and how that is dangerous as well. This is what I'm going to say. Nay, this is actually this is the color I have once again, you guys. It's Juvia's Place. It is called Pink Bay. And yes, this is new. This was a Christmas gift from one of my subscribers, Miss Parker. I unboxed it in my members only. So Miss Parker, thank you again. Let me add a little bit. Let me add a little more to it. It's coming off a little bit. Let me add a little more to it. It's okay, Yana, baby. It's okay. Thank you, guys. So that's where this came from. I did put a little lip liner, but I don't think I'm probably had to add a little bit more. But it's okay. And thank y'all for the compliment. So this is where it came from. This was a Christmas gift from Miss Parker. So thank you again. Now, let me say this about. I think that was dangerous. That would because I feel like when I saw that clip. When I saw that clip of Dr. Jackie speaking on that, it bothered me because one, I feel like she was contradicting herself. And two, as somebody who went through it, I had a friend go to Jackie. She hated it, said she was rude, overtalks you, and has an attitude if you ask for clarification on anything. I could see that. I'm not saying that I agree. I'm not saying that your friend, I don't know your friend, but I can see it. I'm gonna just say that I can see it. Let me say this to you guys, and I don't want to get too far off on my own situation, but for those of you who've been around a long time, y'all have heard my testimony. And for those who don't know, it's in the members only. I think it's a story time in my members only. But let me say this to you guys. This happened to me when my autoimmune situation flared up. I was having a perfect day. It was Saturday. It was a Sunday. I remember everything that happened that day. It was a Sunday. I was having some people over to watch the football game. I was cleaning up my house. I started getting a pain in my back. Sat down, took some Advil or Aleve, whatever I took, and it wasn't getting any better. And then my legs started falling asleep. But it didn't feel right. You know how your leg falls asleep? You're like, oh, okay, but something didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. And at the time, I was in the process of changing jobs, right? So my insurance at my old job had ended, but my insurance at my new job had started. There was no lapse, right? I had an insurance card. I actually went to the mailbox before my sister took me to the emergency room to get my new insurance card. So I had an insurance card. What happened was I went to the emergency room, and because of what I had, to this day, they still don't know what happened. To this day, the doctor still cannot say, oh, well, we see this is what happened and this is what happened, which actually is really the scary part because I don't know how to stop it from happening again. I'm going to keep it quick because we're going to get back to Married to Medicine. I'm sorry. But when I was in the emergency room, they treated me as if I was just some crackhead that was there trying to get some drugs. Okay. They treated me as if I was somebody just trying to get some pain meds because I kept telling them how much pain I was in. And they were like, well, we've already given you your pain meds. And I was like, but I'm still in pain. Well, we've already given you the max that we can give you. Okay, but I am still in pain. And what happened, the insurance piece is important because when they tried to call when they tried to put my information in, it was coming back that I didn't have insurance. And so this was a Sunday. We couldn't clear it up until Monday. So they were treating me as if I was just somebody off the street with a fake insurance card trying to scam and trying to get some drugs. They didn't listen to me. They didn't believe how much pain I was in. It wasn't until my parents, my mama and my daddy, I'm a grown-ass woman, but my mom and my daddy came up to that hospital. Oh, yes, Talum, you better have a shot for me, child. Have a shot for me. It wasn't until my mom came up. Well, my parents were together. My cousin was with me the whole time. My sister had been with me the whole time. And they kept trying to tell the people, listen, she is not dramatic. This is not who she is. If she says she's in pain, she's in pain. Like, I was screaming. I was in so much pain. And they were like, this is not who she is. They kept trying to make me walk. Finally, they said, okay, well, we're going to discharge you. And we're just going to give you a referral to an orthopedic specialist. I literally was telling them I could not feel my legs. From the waist down, I could not feel my legs. They tried to make me walk. I literally fell on the floor in the emergency room. Fell on the floor. I was laid out on the floor in the emergency room, and they literally had to get the people to come in there and help get my fat ass off the floor and back on the table. Finally, my mother said, listen, she said, I'm going to get a private ambulance. I just have to pay for an ambulance to take her to another hospital because my daughter can't walk. She's telling you she can't walk. You're telling her to go to an orthopedic specialist tomorrow. How's she going to get there? And it was at that moment that they sent the psychiatrist or psychologist on call to come in there and talk to me because then they were trying to say it was all in my head. So the lady asked me a couple of questions. They asked me if I wanted to unalive myself. They asked me if I was upset about a job or a breakup. I mean, they went through this whole boom, 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 this whole long list. And finally, the lady was like, yeah, no, it's nothing wrong with her mentally. She's in pain. Now, I understood them saying we've met our max of pain meds we can give you within a certain time period. I understand that. They don't want me ODing or whatever. I'm talking about the treatment, the way I was talked to, the way I was treated. Only for the next morning, same thing. They ended up admitting me to the hospital, but the next morning, that lady came in there with a walker and tried to make me walk again. So when I hear these stories about women talking about they're in pain and that they're not believed in, for Dr. Jackie, who literally just went through this whole long thing with with the vice president about women mortality and this, that, and the other, Black women giving birth. And then I see this video clip of you talking about women just trying to get out of work and how you have women come in there and she might see a woman 27 times during their pregnancy and you just don't believe that they're in pain and they're just trying to get out of work. I feel like you're contradicting yourself. I'm sorry. I just feel like they're contradicting themselves. But anyway, that's my experience and that's my story. And again, it ain't personal against Dr. Jackie, but when I saw that clip, I said the math ain't mathing. The math and the clip is, I don't have let's see if I can find the clip. I do have Buffy did a TikTok on it, so I can give y'all Buffy's TikTok where she talked about the clip. But neither here nor there. But we know Buffy feels how she feels, so I'd rather just find the clip. Anyway, So I say all that to say that. I know that I went way off on a tangent. I'm sorry. Let's get back. So shouts out to Dr. Jackie for having a platform and using it. Shouts out to Kamala Harris for putting these things in place to try to help Black women, minority women, women who have been disenfranchised, whether it be because of their race or because of their ability to pay or have insurance. And so shouts out to them for trying to do something. And at the end of the day, Dr. Jackie is a great representative. Is a great representative as far as the fact that she is a woman of color. She is accomplished. She does have a platform. So there's that. Moving on. Right. So moving on. They go to the vineyard to meet with the Kendall Jackson people. Let me say this, and maybe this is a small thing, y'all. Maybe this is a small thing. Why was everybody dressed more professional than Toya was for this meeting with the Kendall Jackson people? Is it me? Is it me? Toya had on a short, like a pair of shorts and a blouse. And just because they were Fendi don't make them appropriate for a meeting with executives and CEOs. See, this is what I need people to stop. I need people to stop making because something has a label on it that makes it appropriate for every situation. It does not. Can't Toya, I know you had a cute little dress. Dr. Simone had on a cute little dress. Dr. Jackie, Dr. Jackie dresses now. I say what I want to say about the other stuff, but Dr. Jackie dresses, okay? She had a cute dress on when she got there late, but she got there, okay? Hell, even Dr. Heavenly, and we know she need help. Even Dr. Heavenly was dressed better. Toya, you were the one that was there. You were the face of this whole situation. You should have had on a very, and I didn't say she had to wear a power suit. I ain't saying she had to do that, but I'm saying you could have had a really nice cocktail dress on. You could have had a nice wrap dress like Dr. Simone had on. I mean, now Phaedra didn't need to wear that fur over her shoulder. That was a lot. That was too much. But I'm gonna give Phaedra a pass because her ass wasn't there meeting with the C. I mean, she ended up in the meeting with the CEOs, with the execs, but that ain't why she was there. Right. Even Sweet Tea was dressed better. So I think we got to get away from this designer equals appropriate. It's not. Just because it has a name on it doesn't make it appropriate for every situation. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. But neither here nor there. I'm not going to harp on that. So they go and have lunch. And of course, they talk about Quad again and Quad leaving and why Quad left and Quad. Again, we'll get to the whole Quad of it all at the end of this. I'm trying to think. Did they talk about anything else at that lunch? And then Dr. Jackie showed up and told them about how everything went with Kamala Harris. So, boom. I feel like that was the extent of that. So Toya goes in to meet with the CEOs, or I mean, I keep saying CEOs, they execs, with she takes Phaedra with her. And again, I don't think Phaedra was a bad choice to take in the room with her. Here's the thing. And I know some of y'all might not agree with me on this. If Phaedra weren't at the show, if Phaedra was not a part of the cast, the next best person she should have took in that room with her, Dr. Heavenly. Now I know y'all ain't gonna believe me or agree with me because y'all gonna be like, Dr. Heavenly be doing too much. Dr. Heavenly loud. Dr. Heavenly this, that, and the other. She is all of the above, but Dr. Heavenly has also run successful businesses. And some not so successful businesses. She'll let you know she's had some failures. But she's also had some successes. And I definitely agree with her taking the attorney in the room, especially if they were getting ready to start talking numbers and contracts. Yeah, take the person that went to law school in the room. Absolutely. But if Phaedra were not there, Dr. Heavenly should have been the next person. And again, I know some of y'all ain't going to agree with me, but that's how I feel. And I know somebody going to say, you just like Dr. Heavenly. You just biased. Wait till I get to the end of this. Y'all going to see how biased I am to Dr. Heavenly. But anyway, a lot of people are saying they don't like the wig, the blonde on Phaedra. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's just the wig. Whatever work Phaedra has gotten done, I just don't think I don't think it's just the wig. Phaedra has clearly had some work done. And I just don't think it's the wig. But the wig really doesn't bother me. I know the wig, a lot of people ain't feeling her, the blonde, but I don't know, it ain't really bothering me. I just think I think it's more going on here than the wig. Yeah, I know what I'm saying. But anyway, I know the eyes are too much because she looked like her eyes are closed in every scene. She looked like her eyes are closed. I don't know if she high or them lashes are just too heavy. I don't know what it is, but her eyes look closed in every damn scene. Anyway, so while the ladies, while now I thought they came up with some really good. I liked what Toya is going with this. You know, Toya said that she wants to have a whole line. She wants to have wine glasses and decanters and all of that. I think that is so great. Toya, put your signature on it. Do your Martha Stewart. Okay, that's what Martha Stewart did. She took an industry and she put her stamp on it. And then it was everything from Martha Stewart sheets to Martha Stewart silverware to I mean everything. Just because Martha Stewart had set herself up as to be the who's who in this industry, the go-to person, and so she put her stamp on it. And I think that's a great idea, and I think that's a great direction. You know what else I thought was a great idea and a great direction that Toya went in? She wants on her website to have etiquette sort of like tips. I think, listen, let me tell you something. And this isn't a black thing. This is a class thing. A money thing. I don't know if I like the word class either. This is a money thing. If you were not introduced, if wine is not something that is a part of your life, if you did not grow up in a household where people drank wine, and you did not grow up around understanding what wine pairs with what, how to drink wine, the proper way to hold a wine glass, which wine glasses for what type of wine, how to do a wine tasting, how to train your nose to take in the note. Like if you have not gone through those things, you don't, and it's not because you don't have the capacity to learn, it's because you were not exposed to it. You understand? And so I think that is a great idea that Toya had to say, look, I want this on my website. I want this on my website that people can get these tips. I even thought the tour was a good idea. Now, I don't know if Toya's situation is tour ready, but it's definitely Atlanta ready, meaning do a couple of those events in Atlanta and then see the demographics on what she needs to do is create. I don't want to make everything YouTube, but for the sake of argument, let's just say YouTube. She needs to create a space, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok. She needs to create a social media space where people are logging in to hear her. And the reason why I say that is because from there, you can build your demographics and then know where to tour. Right now, anything you do will be based on numbers from Married to Medicine. And everybody that watches Married to Medicine may not come see you. But if you create a space and the people there are there to see you, hear you, understand what you're saying, then you can take that and say, oh, well, I see my number one city, my top 3 cities are DC, Chicago, and San Francisco. All right. So I'm going to do a wine tour and I'm going to go in those 3 cities. Right. And I like the idea that these have to be people that are a member of your club, maybe on a whatever if she has membership tiers. But I think she should open it up to the public. I think that you should have a VIP situation, a package for members. But I think that the tickets should be sold to anybody who wants to come. And I do think you should have tips there teaching people because again, if you didn't grow up in that, I didn't do my first wine tasting, like actual formal wine tasting, until I was in my 30s. When I went to and was I in my 30s or my, yeah, I was in my 30s. Was I in my 30s? Yeah. Yeah, I was in my 30s. I did my first wine tasting when I was in my 30s, and it was my clearly my late 30s because I had to remember if I was in my 30s or my 40s. But when I went to the first time I did a real wine tasting was when I went to San Francisco, me and my cousin, and we drove down to Napa, and we went to like 2 or 3 different vineyards. That was the first time I went to a real wine tasting. There are people who have done wine tastings before they were 21. So I think that's a great idea, Toya. I love to see it. Toya is not my favorite on the show, but I love the come up. Toya found something she was passionate about, which is wine. She linked up with a known wine, like everybody knows Kendall Jackson, right? And she is creating a space for it, and I'm here for it. So anyway, I like the ideas. I hope they come to fruition because a lot of times we get on these shows, child, and we hear these people talking about all the things they gonna do, and we don't never see that shit. Now I do know that the wine club is real. She's had the wine club for a couple of years. I don't drink that much wine to join her wine club. I'm just gonna be real with you. But would I go to an event where she's doing wine etiquette and a meet and greet? Yeah, I might. Would I log into a YouTube channel where she's doing that? Yeah, I would subscribe to it. I would. So I think that's a great thing. Anyway, just like when she got irritated with Simone for not being open to trying a different wine with her meal. Toy is a little bit of a wine snob, but a lot of people who are really, really into wine are wine snobs. But again, if she's willing to share it, I'm okay with that. Anyway, I've said enough about that. Moving on. So while this is going on, the ladies are out taking pictures and they're talking or whatever. And Kim Pie is coming to DC on February the 24th. Thank you, Miss Carter. I'm gonna go over to his channel and get the details. I would do that. I would go to a ticket. I mean, did I say go to a ticket? I would buy a ticket. I would definitely buy a ticket to go to a live. It's like a meet and greet. I'm gonna have to go. I'll go over there and find out what's going on. I'm see how much the tickets are, child. I gotta see if it's in my budget right now. Right now, my Christmas budget is a little taken. But if I could put if the because something like that might sell out quick. But I'm looking to it. That's definitely something I will be interested in doing. Definitely. Thank you, Miss Carter. Because y'all know I'm behind on my videos, child, so I ain't seen it. Let me say this. It's always one in the group. And I'm not ashamed to say that at once upon a time, that person in the group would have probably been me. But listen, Sweet Tea done shown up. You'll donate for me to go. How much? Well, do me a favor, Miss Carter. Find out how much the tickets are, please. Or I mean, if you could just drop it in the chat real quick. But when I get off of here, I'll go check it out. Yeah, I'll go check it out when I drop it. When I get off of here, I'll check it out. But let me know, please, if you could, if the different prices of the tickets. So Sweet Tea showed up with Flask. He just told us today. Okay, definitely I'll check it out when I get off of here. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for letting me know. Because y'all know I'm still trying to get caught up. Y'all, why she show up? And she didn't just have one flask. Y'all, she had about 5 flasks. Talking about she bought some brown liquor because she know everybody don't drink wine. Yes, Markel, because I was trying to finish up Married to Medicine so I could go live and talk to my people. Child, Markel, I know you're not talking when you sent me the voicemail earlier today, okay? And let me tell y'all something about Markel real quick. Not only does Markel send you the voicemail, he got a smart ass lady on there being rude when you get sent to voicemail, telling you that the person you called is doing something more important than talking to you. Okay. Now, I'm not afraid. Listen, I'm not ashamed to admit that once upon a time, that might have been me. If somebody had took me to a vineyard in my early to mid 20s, I probably would have had a flask too. Because I wasn't really into wine like that. But I don't know if I would have had 5. Like, did production give you all them flasks, or did you really show up with 5 different? Like, I might be exaggerating with the 5, but she had multiple flasks in her hand. Do you drink that much liquor, sweet tea? Do you need to drink that much liquor? Markel ain't gonna tell y'all nothing. Do you need that much liquor, sweet tea, that you need 3 flasks? Now, Dr. Heavenly, I got questions for you. Dr. Heavenly, I need a timeline. I need a timeline, Dr. Heavenly, because you told us you wasn't drinking no more. You told us that you didn't drink during this filming. I don't remember what live it was, y'all, so don't tell me. I ain't gonna make no lies up. But Dr. Heavenly spoke. It was while they were filming this season. Dr. Heavenly said she wasn't drinking no more. She said she stopped drinking. Because she said that this season is a good season because she wasn't drinking this season. You was the first person to take a flask out of Sweet Tea hand, talking about that the brown liquor help you. Now, either Dr. Heavenly, now, Dr. Heavenly, you lied to us. You told us you wasn't drinking. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. I really didn't believe you when you said it. Anyway, that was pretty much what happened there. So we see the ladies later on that night. They go out to dinner. Now, why? Oh, we see the guys. Hold on. Listen, I really don't have nothing to say about the guy situation. Now, Dr. Gregory, you gave Sweet Tea some good advice. You told Sweet Tea stay the hell out of it. You said put some earplugs and stay the hell out of it. And you was right. You gave her the right advice. You told her the right thing. Stay the hell out of it, Sweet Tea. You can't win. This ain't for you. This ain't for you. The quad situation, that ain't for you. Stay over there. Don't get in it. That's grown folk business. You stay over there. The guys meet up and we find out that Dr. Ashley's husband, this is the first time he's been alone with the kids. We see Dr. Ashley talking about it, saying how, well, he's Nigerian and he grew up with servants and this, that, and the other. And she made it seem like that's how all Nigerians grow up. No, ma'am. That's how rich Nigerians grow up. Just like rich people in America. Just like rich people in France. Just like rich people in Dubai. You grow up with money, you have certain amenities. Everybody in Nigeria ain't walking around with servants, contrary to what people might want you to think. So didn't I say her name Alicia? What I call her? I ain't call her Alicia. What I call her? I thought I called her Alicia. I'm sorry. Thank you, Nitwit. Y'all know me and these names. I really thought I said Alicia, though. But I didn't like the fact that she made it seem like just because he was Nigerian, he had all of these amenities. But the fact that your child is 5, I said Ashley. I'm sorry, I meant Alicia, my bad. The fact that your child is 5 and that's the first time you've been alone with your children, that's a problem. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. That's how I feel about it. That's my opinion. That is a problem. That's a problem, sir. 5? In 5 years, you've never been alone with your children. I don't even compute that. They don't even 5. Now let me tell you guys something. Excuse me, men down to the Married to Medicine. Come here for a minute. Men, excuse me, hello. Men down to the Married to Medicine. Let me talk to y'all for a second. Cecil, I think I'm gonna give Cecil this job. Cecil, because I think Cecil will be able to properly negotiate this situation. Dr. Damon don't care. Not Cecil. Wait a minute, which one is married to Cecil? Is the one married to Dr. Simone, right? Cecil, that's Dr. Simone's husband, right? Okay. What's Dr. Jackie husband name? I always get the two of them mixed up. I always want to call him Cecil and the other one. What Dr. Jackie husband? Somebody tell me his name. And Eugene, you just happy to be here. Cecil has a job, Curtis. Stop saying Cecil don't have a job, y'all. Listen, I went off on that last week. I went off on that whole thing last week. Cecil does have a job. Cecil is a real estate agent, and he does sell properties. Okay, stop saying that man don't have a job. He got a job. Moving on. But I feel like Cecil can handle this. Cecil, I need you to call Joe Gorga. I need you to call Joe Gorga down to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And I need you to find out what they did. Because here's what don't make no sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me that we get full scenes of just the men season after season after season, and y'all don't get paid. When the Real Housewives of New Jersey, they get paychecks. That has been confirmed that the men on the Real Housewives of New Jersey get paychecks. And let me tell you something. Y'all work just as hard as they do. Whenever the ladies go out of town, they film y'all. They make y'all come to work. They make y'all film scenes. Y'all don't think that these men are voluntarily getting together to go box. Y'all don't think these men are voluntarily getting together to go, what was it? They had a pamper party with Botox and stuff 2 years ago. Y'all don't think these men are voluntarily getting together to go play golf and go to Top Golf. These are orchestrated scenes that production has put together for these men to talk about women's business. And if y'all are going to be down on TV looking like a bunch of Mitches talking about women's business, y'all need to get paid for it. And it has been confirmed that the men on the Real House, on Married to Medicine do not get paid. But the men down to the Real Housewives of New Jersey, they do. Y'all, listen, Cecil. Shirley, tell me what the problem is with him being a real estate agent. You say he needs a steady income. There's a lot of real estate agents, and that's all they do is sell. Why is that a problem? I don't understand why that's an issue for Cecil, but everybody else can do it. I got friends that are real estate agents, and that's all they do all day long is sell property and buy property. And sometimes they have good months, and sometimes they have bad months. I'm not understanding what the problem is with Cecil being a real estate agent. Please, somebody tell me what the problem is. Y'all done let Dr. Heavenly put that narrative in y'all head that this man don't work. That shit is coming from Dr. Heavenly and nobody else. If you follow Cecil's social media, which I do, Cecil is a real estate agent, and it is all over his Instagram where he sells properties. Hell, he sold the damn condo that Dr. Simone just purchased for her boys to move into. He sold that to her. I don't understand, y'all. Anyway. So here's the thing. How do you know that, Shirley? You said Cecil has too many bad months. Tell me how you know. You friends with him. How you know he got too many bad months? Y'all keep listening to Dr. Heavenly, because that narrative came from Dr. Heavenly. That narrative, it does count. What is wrong, child? Why doesn't that count? Listen, I understand y'all. I understand y'all. Shirley says she just playing with me. Okay, Shirley. Love you, girl. I love you, girl. Moving on. I don't see Simone being okay with Cecil being unemployed. Yeah, I think that that's something that Dr. Heavenly says, and people just, Anyway, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. But anyway, Cecil, he sell real estate, child. But Cecil okay, so you said it's Judice. Okay, so Joe Judice was the one. Teresa and Joe Judice got that put in their contract. Go for it. Somebody need to call the New Jersey men and find out. I know it's probably a different production company, but they need to find out what the negotiation tactic was that they used. I need to find out what they said, who they said it to, and how it happened. Because Married to Medicine men, y'all working too hard. Y'all are working too hard. Y'all, that is the second scene this season that y'all have filmed by yourselves. We saw Dr. Gregory's bachelor situation. They filmed the whole scene. Now y'all got a whole scene again with all the ladies in Napa. Y'all work too hard for free. Now, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Y'all work too hard for free. Those scenes are clearly orchestrated by production. Clearly orchestrated by production. That's all I really got to say about that scene, because I really don't care about none of that. The man said he don't never Teresa and Joe Judice was the key. They said, oh no, we both getting a check. Okay, they need to figure out. I mean, then it needs then who has enough power on that show to bargain? It would have to be Dr. Heavenly or Dr. Jackie. And the problem is neither one of their husbands are the neither one of their husbands are the exciting people in these scenes. It's really Cecil and Eugene really that are the funny ones that are entertaining. So the people with the bargaining power, which would be Dr. Heavenly or Dr. Jackie, probably are not interested in making their husbands be a bigger part of the show. So I don't know. Kimmy Nicole says Cecil is retired from his profession. Yeah, he was retired from IBM, I believe it was. Didn't he work for IBM? He was in IT, and then he became a real estate agent. Anyway, I went through that last week. I don't even know why I'm going through that again. Anyway, moving on. So we have gotten to the part that y'all want to talk about. Child, because is that it? Wait a minute, hold on. What else they talk about? Let me look at my notes. Did they say anything else I wanted to talk about? Okay. I think that's all my notes on the actual episode. Let me think real quick before we get out of here. I think I covered everything. The ladies go out to dinner. They were just talking about marriages. Dr. Heavenly apologizes to Sweet Tea again. The thing about Dr. Heavenly's apologies, and again, what's up, J Dub? Hey, boo. You see the new season of Ready to Love is rolling back through. Are you going to be reviewing it this year? I'm on the fence. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lies. I'm really on the fence about Ready to Love, y'all. Y'all gonna have to do some heavy convincing to get me. I'm really on the fence about Ready to Love. I may just do a panel and leave it at that. I don't know if I'm gonna do. I don't know. I may go back to a panel and just do a. I don't know because it just wasn't the last couple of seasons. Just really ain't been giving me nothing. Let me say this about Dr. Heavenly. Okay, J Dub said he's doing it. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all are subscribed to J Dub. Can one of my mods drop J Dub's link in the chat, please? Thank you, Miss Parker. This your lipstick, girl. This the lipstick you got me. Y'all, Miss Parker bought me some lipstick for Christmas, and she bought me a beautiful cup, honey, for Christmas. Thank you so much, sweetie. So if I don't review Ready to Love, y'all know where to find the Ready to Love reviews, and y'all know J Dub is one of the people that does Ready to Love. So y'all make sure y'all check it out. Also, Tracy, if you get a chance, please, can you drop my Christmas wish list again? I'm not telling anybody they have to buy me anything, but if you want to buy something for me for Christmas, I do have a Christmas wish list. That's where Miss Parker, well, the lipstick came off the wish list. Well, I think it did. I don't know. All right, but it's mainly lipstick. It's mainly books and lipstick, child. You know what, Tracy? You can't be lusting after J Dub. Not I go there to watch that man on mute. You can't be going over there and lusting after him. Right. The thing about Dr. Heavenly's apologies are that she's gonna turn around and do the exact same thing. So people like her, I'd rather them keep their apology to themselves. Like, don't apologize. You meant that shit when you said it, because if you didn't mean it, you wouldn't do it again. So honestly, I can't. I love me some Dr. Heavenly. That don't mean that I agree with everything Dr. Heavenly does. But let's get to the quad of it all. Okay. That's what I started to call this live, the quad of it all. Let's go back to the beginning of this episode. I told you we was go back to the beginning because I know the majority of it we wanted to talk about quad. So let's go back to the beginning. Let me hydrate, child. What time is it? Because I don't want to push into El Teddy. Okay, I got about 30 minutes. Okay. The beginning of this episode picks off where the last episode left off, with the ladies at that cold ass dinner, because everybody said they were cold. They said the food was cold, and they said they were cold. They were outside for this little dinner, and they are arguing. Quad, honey, I need you to read the room a little bit better. You decided to deflect the situation by throwing Dr. Heavenly under the bus and saying that basically Dr. Heavenly was talking ish about Phaedra. Now, Dr. Heavenly's thing was, I said it, I meant it. I said it and I meant it when I said it. Tracy said, I can look, I just can't touch. With that being said, you threw Dr. Heavenly under the bus. Now, I want to jump back and forth, y'all, because I can't say, oh, well, let's do this and that. I'm going to be talking about what Dr. Heavenly said, what Quad said, what Carlos said. The last 30 minutes of this is just gonna be all combined. I can't do the separate 3 different things. And it was hard for me to watch Carlos's interview with Quad, and it was definitely hard for me to watch Carlos and Dr. Heavenly, their little argument last night. So honestly, I'm not even doing separate videos. I'm just gonna put it all right here because I ain't got the brain power for it. Okay, it was a lot. So Dr. Heavenly's thing was, I said it. I talked ish about Phaedra. She said, but Phaedra wasn't my friend. She said, and the one thing, listen, and I told y'all this before, and I know I've seen it all over, people have put it all over social media. Don't ever come and tell me what somebody said about me. I want to know what you said. I want to know why they felt comfortable enough to say it. If somebody know that me and you friends, let me tell you something. Anybody ever better come down here and tell me nothing about my best friend. My best friend, my friends know that that's my best friend. People who don't know us know that's my best friend. Now I can say what I want to say about my best friend because we've been friends since the sandbox, we like to call it. We lived in the same neighborhood. We went to the same schools. Hell, she went to A&T, I went to Bennett. We went to college a block away from each other. Okay. And we ain't always got so eye to eye. And we have had our fair share of disagreements and arguments. But let me tell you what you better not do. Don't come to me talking about her because either A, I'm going to get you straight. And that's going to be the end of the conversation. And B, I'm telling her, that person over there, that ain't your friend. I don't know what it is, who it is, or how it is, but that ain't your friend. And here's why. So let me say this. Don't ever come to me and tell me what somebody said about me. I want to know what you said back. And I want to know why they felt so comfortable talking to you about me. So, Quad, you throwing Dr. Heavenly under the bus. Dr. Heavenly said, yeah, I said it. But you was talking shit too. You was talking about Phaedra just like I was talking about Phaedra. Now, who's the problem? Who's the bigger problem? Me, the person that don't know her, talking shit, or you, the person who claim you her friend? So Dr. Heavenly was pissed off in that moment because she said, so you gonna throw me under the bus? You throwing me under the bus? Now, they ended dinner and they really felt like nothing had been resolved. So they went back to Toya's room and they proceeded to have a whole, minus Sweet Tea and Dr. Alicia. And they proceeded to have a whole conversation where they said they don't feel like this is resolved. And they want to have another go at Quad. So they asked Quad to come back downstairs. And they once again try to tell Quad, listen, we don't feel like we have resolved anything. And once again, they try to explain to Quad what their issues are. And what Quad said, every time they said something, Quad said, well, I felt you did that to me too. Every time somebody said, well, you know, Quad, you know, you've done some things to us or to me over the years. Well, you've done some things to me too. And every time they threw something at her, her response was, well, you did it to me. Well, you did it to me. Well, I went through it too. Well, I was hurt too. Quad, I need you to read the room. Now, just looking at that scene, I was like, this is fucked up. But when you put the totality of getting some of the background information, Quad, you had to understand what was happening in that moment. And here's how I know Quad understood what was happening in that moment. Christopher C, you would now I ain't telling people my age. I would see, I'm gonna tell people my age now. But we just, I'm gonna say this. We was close, but we just missed each other. We was close. But Aggie pride to you, my brother. Aggie pride. We probably, you know. Quiet. They had fired you, girl. They had fired you. Let's take the girls out of it and let's look at the production. They have fired you. They brought you back as a friend of the show. And Dr. Heavenly had a lot to do with that. We ain't got to like Dr. Heavenly, but we're going to call the thing a thing. Dr. Heavenly had a lot to do with you getting called back as a friend of the show. And now that I look back on it, I almost feel like that was orchestrated. But y'all remember that whole storyline where Quad posted the picture of her down to Tulum, and Dr. Heavenly made a comment on it about, and Quad snapped back at her, and they had this whole back and forth about whether Dr. Heavenly saying Quad had a BBL and things of that nature. But then, remember how that became a storyline? I almost feel like that was, now that I look back on it, I almost feel like that was orchestrated, because when Dr. Heavenly says, I helped you get back on the show because I kept calling your name and I kept calling you out and I kept saying your name to the point where they wanted to bring you on because of the things I was saying, I almost think now that was a plan set up by Todd to come at us with the bullshit that you and Quad put together so Quad could get back on the show. Because let's remember, Quad had been fired. That's how Quad got back on the show as a friend of the show, because that was the only storyline Quad had, remember? Y'all remember that season? So you came back as a friend of the show. You still ain't got no storyline. Last season, what did Quad bring? Now, I know all the Quad fans are going to talk about how Quad is this and Quad is that. Okay, that's great. And I ain't going to take nothing away from Quad being a breakout star on this show. But what did Quad do the last 2 seasons? She bought a new house. Beautiful, great, wonderful. We see her with her nephew. Oh, that's great. She done moved her mother in. Beautiful, great. We don't see you dating. We don't see you doing nothing. So, again, when these ladies are telling you, Quad, you're not doing this, Quad, you're not doing that, Quad, 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 and your response is always to talk about what they're doing. Listen, they ain't on the hot seat. See, here's the thing. I ain't get ready to sit here and say that anybody is innocent in this situation, but they're not on the hot seat, Quad. You are. You are on the hot seat. And that whole scene, and this is the part that a lot of people not understanding too. That whole scene with the resurrection down to the church was supposed to be Quad's humbling moment. And Quad, all you had to do was swallow it. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This damn camera. We do it every day. We do it every day. No matter what job you have, even if you are an entrepreneur, you answer to your suppliers, you answer to your customers, you answer to the bank who gave you the loan, whatever. We all got people we have to answer to, even if we are our own boss. But in this case, Quad, you have a job. Your bosses told you you ain't bringing it to us. Your coworkers are telling you, here's the issue. And in that moment, you got to make a decision, Quad. Either you're going to give them people what they want and swallow it, or quit and walk away. Y'all ain't got to like it. Y'all ain't got to like it. But in that moment, that's when HR call you in the office. When HR calls you in the office and says, listen, your coworkers told us this, and that. Your supervisor told us this, and that. And here's what your history has been. You started off strong when you came in the company. We really liked the work you were doing. You was bringing us money, right? We were sending you out to do recruiting. You were great. But over the last couple of years, you done fell off. We put you on probation, and we decided to bring you back, but it's not working. In that moment, when you sitting in front of that HR person and they got that personnel file in front of you and they're telling you, listen, this is what we need you to do, or ... in that moment, you got a decision to make. And that decision is, I'm going to swallow it. I'm going to swallow this. I'm going to apologize and I'm going to play nice to get my job straight. Or I'm going to say, thank you for the opportunity, and I'm going to walk away. I'm not saying that makes it okay, y'all. And I'm not even saying that I think that Quad, because I don't like, let me say this. Before we get into these interviews, this is going to be my 2 cents on the rest of the episode, and then I'm going to talk about Carlos and Dr. Heavenly. I don't like the way it was done. I don't. I didn't like it. That was hard to watch. I didn't like it. I didn't like it from the beginning. When I first saw those ladies sit at that restaurant last episode, and I told you how I felt about it on my last review, that it was a setup from the beginning, and I felt like that scene was shot over. I don't feel like that's how that conversation went the first time. If they did shoot that scene the first time, I think they reshot it. I don't think that scene was done on the front end. That's my opinion. But even if it was, I feel like it was a setup from the beginning. It was a setup from the word go. And I think the decision had already been made. That's why they didn't want Quad on that trip. The decision had already been made. And it wasn't made by them ladies. Listen, we ain't about to sit here and give them that much power. We're not going to sit here and give those women that much power. If they wanted Quad to stay, it didn't matter what them women felt or how them women felt about Quad. Quad was going to still be on the show. Production didn't want Quad to stay. We ain't going to give them women that much power. My tree look cute, y'all. Look. We ain't going to give them women that much power. Same thing with Mariah. We're not going to give them women that much power. Production didn't want Mariah to stay. Now, did Mariah do stuff to the ladies that made it easier for them to get rid of her? Absolutely. But I don't like how it happened. Now, that's my opinion. Am I okay with Quad leaving based on the information that I've been given? Sure. Sure. But I don't like how it happened. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Now, let's get to these interviews. Ooh. I'm sorry. Let me read a couple of these comments because y'all been just talking away in the chat. Let me read a couple of these comments and then I'm gonna get to this. I'm true to me said I wish Bravo stopped talking about our positive accomplished professionals that are eventually making them look bad. We need something positive on TV for our culture. Y'all don't watch the shows that's positive for the culture. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I mean in general, they don't get the ratings, so they stop showing it. If we could get the ratings for the positive for the culture shows, guess what? That's what they would put on TV. But they don't get the ratings for it. But I've said that before. The scene was too focused on specifics about Quad. Budget Away says, I don't either. I don't like Quad, but I felt bad for her. That's why I've never bought this sisterhood. This group we're trying to sell to vote folks out like it's Survivor. Andre said, but Quad said James Knox told her to go. Isn't he the showrunner? Okay, well, he told her to go then. But none of the ladies invited her. I told Mariah she should have burnt the show down when they did her dirty. Surely did. Sharon Ware said, oh, OMG, really BTV. I totally agree with you. I felt the same way. Yes, they use the ladies to do their mean work. Yeah. Production, they made it seem like them ladies really made that decision. They ain't got that kind of power. I respectfully disagree because the ladies do not have to participate in bringing another sister down. You must be talking to somebody in the chat because I didn't say nothing about that. It's universal. We all agree that it's not what was said, but how they did it was whack. Yeah, I just don't like the way it was done. Again, I ain't about to sit here and tell somebody. Like I said, it sounds like between Quad and Dr. Heavenly. I mean, it sounds like some issue was done, but I just don't like the way it went down. But anyway, so let's get into the things. And I do think the show is going to suffer. But that's my opinion too. So Quad sits down with Carlos. Now, first of all, let's be clear. I told y'all last week, Carlos had clearly talked to Quad, and Carlos clearly knew what was happening. Because when he was arguing with Dr. Heavenly last week on part 1 of this episode, it's clear that he had information. It's clear that he knew things that was going on behind the scenes that had not been shown. He didn't know everything because some of the stuff Dr. Heavenly told him took him by surprise, which tells me that he had Quad's version of the story, not necessarily the whole version of the story. Did I suspect that he had interviewed with Quad? I did not. From a marketing standpoint, it was genius. You drop your video right after the episode. Boom. That was perfect. That was genius. But it is clear that that interview took place before these episodes aired, which means that Carlos knew what happened before it happened. And that, that might be a thing. I know some YouTubers or bloggers review, whatever. I know sometimes people do get advanced episodes and stuff like that or have access to advanced episodes. So that's not a big, I mean, when you're a bigger content creator, you do get that kind of access. But let's just call a thing a thing. His interview wasn't an interview. It wasn't. And I don't enjoy Carlos King's interviews, period. I've told y'all that before. Because Carlos does not interview people. He already has an opinion before he gets started, and he asks questions to try to drive the narrative he has already made up in his mind. Also, I don't like the shade. I think he's too wordy because he's always trying to throw a jab in. He's always trying to be cute and be like, I mean, because we could see that as clear as, Donald Trump's hairline on November the 24th down to the Capitol, honey. And you'll be like, what the fuck? What? That wasn't necessary. Just say we saw that clearly. Like, he's too wordy and he's always trying to throw in Kempa. Yeah, he's gonna be in. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Renee. Thank you. Somebody's supposed to be telling me the prices. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go check it out when I get off of here. But I didn't know if anybody had already gotten the information on the prices. I want to go. I have to see what the prices are. To go. J Dub Kempire is gonna be in the area in February. I don't know if you watch Kempire or not, but I want to go check them out. I got to see what the VIP tickets is looking like because that's what I want to go. I want the VIP package. So I got to see if it's in my budget, honey. If not, I might just have to, just get a regular ticket. So number one, that wasn't an interview. Let's call it what it is. $50 for VIP. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, $50 for VIP and $20 a ticket. So is it $70 altogether, or is $50 for VIP and $20 for general admission? $50 isn't that bad. I can buy my ticket today. I thought it was gonna be like $100, $200 or something. Ooh, okay. So with that being said, it wasn't an interview. It was a platform to allow Quad to give her side of the story. That is what it was. So Carlos, so it is 70 in total. Okay. I can still do that today. Okay. What's today? Tuesday? I'll do it on Thursday when I get my YouTube check. With that being said, you guys, Quad was pontificating the whole conversation. The whole like, girl, you would what? And here's what I've come to realize about people who have to use that many words to answer a question. Usually there's deceit somewhere in there. If you can't just give me a straight answer, somewhere in your answer is deception. I ain't saying she a liar. I'm saying deception. For example, and I use the examples that Dr. Heavenly used because she said she had a whole list of examples, but she kept using the same ones over and over again. When he brought up the whole you going to, first of all, again, if this were a serious interview, that wasn't even a question that needed to be brought up because that has nothing to do with what you're interviewing about. When you brought up the fact, because is it true that you were over in Africa looking for a rich African with the rest of the Real Housewives of Atlanta girls? That was a shady question that was about being shady. If your question was, is it true that you spend more time with women from the Real Housewives of Atlanta than you do with your own cast, and maybe that's why they're a little upset or offended, that is the appropriate question. Or even, do you feel that you spent more time with the ladies over on the Real Housewives of Atlanta than you do with your own cast? Or you could have said, why do you feel more comfortable spending your downtime with the ladies of the Real Housewives of Atlanta than you do with your own cast? See, there were so many different ways of asking that same question without being shady. But you throw in, were you just looking for a rich African over in Kenya? So now Quad gets up and goes and gets her passport. Man, why? Again, your answer could have been, these are my friends and we travel. And she went on to talk about how she's friends with the second lady of Ghana. She said, actually, it's not Kenya. Her answer could have been, actually, it's not Kenya, it's Ghana. And I go to Ghana because I have created a friendship with the second lady of Ghana. And I enjoy going to the country. That's it, that's all. But you going to get your damn passport. And Andre, I'm ADHD and I'm wordy too, but I'm saying that's my opinion. I don't know. I hear what you say, but that's my opinion. So again, when they brought up, I'll use the same examples that Dr. Heavenly used because I understood what Dr. Heavenly was saying, but Dr. Heavenly here's the problem. I know I'm all over the place, but here's the problem. When people are not being honest about their feelings, then that's the issue. Dr. Heavenly, you were pissed. That's it. That's all. You were pissed. And just because you and Carlos are cool, and just because you and Carlos talk off camera, doesn't mean you can't be pissed at him. You were pissed off at Carlos. You were upset at the interview. You felt that Carlos did not hold Quad to the fire, and you were pissed off. And you couldn't get your thoughts out because you were too angry in the moment to really have that conversation. And Carlos was loving it, and Carlos was enjoying it because Carlos likes the fucking mess. Let's call a thing a thing. Dr. Heavenly, when she gets like that, she overtalks. She doesn't listen. She's waiting to respond, not listening to understand. And so she was cutting Carlos off. She wasn't letting Carlos finish his thoughts. And then she started doing the exact same thing that she accused Quad of doing. She wasn't answering questions. She wasn't answering questions straightforward. She was not. There were a couple of times where Carlos was asking her a straight question and she didn't answer it. She went around Robin Hood's barn. So again, that makes me feel like neither one of y'all are really telling the whole story because you weren't giving straight answers. So I'm going to give an example of where I think Dr. Heavenly made a valid point. Dr. Heavenly said, you let Quad tell that lie about not living with Mariah. We all know that she lived with Mariah. Well, what Quad said was Mariah and I were never roommates. I think that's how she worded it. We were never roommates. Right? Is that a lie? No. If Quad did not consider herself a roommate with Mariah, then it's not a lie. But the question is, did you ever sleep in that woman's house for consecutive nights? Because if you was there more than 3 nights, you was living with her. You see what I'm saying? So Heavenly is upset because Heavenly is like, Carlos, you know Quad, you're friends with Quad, and you know these stories are true. You know she lived with Mariah. That's not up for debate because you know the truth. And you didn't hold her to that. You didn't push her on it because you knew she was lying to you. So now Dr. Heavenly is pissed off because Dr. Heavenly feels like, Carlos, you sit in my face every Monday night. I'm helping push your YouTube channel. You helping push my YouTube channel because they both watching each other's back. And you sat there and did that interview. You didn't give me a heads up. I didn't know nothing about it. And stuff that you knew she was lying about, you didn't press her on. She has a valid point. She has a valid point. Did Carlos let Quad lie? I mean, I can't say for certain, but it seems like it. Because I feel like Quad admitted that she stayed with Mariah. I ain't got the energy or the time to go back and look. But I feel like Quad admitted that she stayed with Mariah. Another example that Dr. Heavenly gave when she was upset was what was it? Because damn it. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn the ringer off. And these are telemarketers calling me. That's the same number that just called me. I don't know these people. That's a telemarketer. And they be calling and calling. Then I'll answer it thinking it's important. It's something else. But Dr. Heavenly does that. She talks over you when she's upset, when she's angry, and so that's what she did. She did the same thing to Al Reynolds when she was on Fox O, when she got mad and she kept talking over Al Reynolds. She wouldn't let him finish his thoughts. She wouldn't let him finish what he had to say. And it was hard to watch. It's the same thing with her and Carlos last night. That was hard to watch because she would not let him finish. And because Carlos sat back and laughed, he looked like the sane one in the situation, right? Because he sat back and he just sort of let her look foolish. He sat back and let her look foolish. Question: why is it important for Heavenly and others to prove that Quad live with Mariah? It just leans to the idea that they want to lower our perception of Quad. I think it was just, I'm using that. I can't speak for them, but I'm using it as an example of what Dr. Heavenly was saying Quad lied about, right? Um, hey, D. Heavenly Kitchen, how you doing? I'm trying to think of another example. So let me just go down my notes because I do have something very important I do want to say before we get ready to get off of here as it relates to that. Okay. Quad. did like even when Carlos asked Quad about her renegotiation, I don't have a problem with with Quad wanting to renegotiate her contract when she found out Dr. G was going to be on the show. I don't have a problem with that. But I found it to be interesting that, and shout out to the 248 in the room. If you haven't already hit the like button, please do. I appreciate you guys. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It's free 99. Free 99. Free 99. Okay. I feel like when Carlos asked Quad about her negotiations, right? Quad went all the way around Robin Hood's barn to talk about these negotiations. And Carlos, he did. Now when Carlos did try to get her to answer, he said, well, he asked like 3 different ways. Finally, he asked her, well, were you happy? Because he said, well, what did you get? Did you get anything more after your renegotiation? And she said, not as much as I felt I deserved. So then he said, well, he asked her something else and she sort of sidestepped it. So finally, he just asked her, were you happy with your contract after the renegotiations? And she said no. Now, Dr. Heavenly said that. Dr. Heavenly said she ain't getting nothing more. She went through all of that. She missed filming to only get the same thing she was getting to begin with. She ain't get shit. Let me look at my notes. There are levels to friendship. Everybody is not the same friend. Like I have friends that I talk to all the time. I have friends that I don't talk to very often, but when we see each other, it's like we never left. I have friends that I've known for a very, very long time. I still consider them a friend because we've been through things together. We didn't have no falling out. It ain't no hate there, but our lives have just moved in different directions, right? There are levels to that, and I can't define what that looks like for you. Everybody's definition of a friend is different. I can't define what your definition of friendship is versus my definition of friendship. And so I feel like we kept using the word friends when we should have just been talking about, in my opinion, I feel like we should have been talking about. I find it interesting how no one brings up is unprofessional. But I said that last week. I said it was unprofessional when Dr. Heavenly talked about the fact that production came back and told them the things that Quad's management, because it wasn't Quad, she made that clear that she did not renegotiate. Her manager or her agent went in and renegotiated. I did. I said that. I said it was very unprofessional that Dr. Jackie Heavenly or anybody else would know the things that were said in renegotiations. I think that was very poor. And I would have a problem with that if I were Quad. Now, I did say that. Quad should have renegotiated her contract. It's highly likely that her agent said those things on her behalf, which is their job. The question is why the lady's holding it against her. All right. I don't know, too feisty. I don't know. So I don't have a problem with that, the friendship thing. But here's what, again, I think people, again, and here's where, based on what I've seen and heard for myself, Quad made the comment that the ladies didn't call her and it goes both ways. And why didn't the ladies call her? I've heard at least 2 of those ladies. Now, people, again, sometimes when there's 2 versions of a story, you just got to believe who you choose to believe. I've heard this multiple times. So I choose to believe the ladies on this over Quad because I've heard this multiple times from multiple people. Carlos even said it. Funky Daniva has said this. Quad will ice people out when she's like, Quad is one of those people that cannot multitask in friend groups. If she's hanging with these friends, it's like these friends don't exist anymore. She don't return phone calls. She don't keep up with nobody. She don't say, hey girl, how you doing? Dr. Jackie said that when they left the reunion and she reached out to Quad's response to her was, I need some time. New York was a lot, the reunion, whatever went down at the reunion, and I need some time. Dr. Jackie said, cool. I'm not, then my expectation was you would reach out to me when you were ready to talk. She never did. Same thing with Heavenly. Heavenly said she did reach out to Quad. Quad didn't respond. Now, Carlos said the same thing, that he will call Quad and it will take Quad months to return his phone call. He said that himself. So it sounds to me like this is who Quad is. And here's the thing I have to tell people. Once you get to know people, you just got to accept who they are or move on. This is who Quad is. Quad, you have to take accountability for the way you treated those ladies when you were on Sister Circle. You can dress it up, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a damn pig. Listen, on that season when you were on Sister Circle, when you were MIA, remember when they brought you down to Dr. Heavenly's house and they confronted you? See, here's the thing. This ain't the first time they just sat Quad down and told Quad they ain't like the way she was moving. Again, you ain't got to agree with it, but it ain't the first time they did it. I remember, y'all remember that season when Quad, they was out at I believe it was Dr. Heavenly's house. They was out by her pool or whatever. I don't know if she had a fire pit out there or something like that. And Quad was MIA. She wasn't showing up, or when she was showing up, she was late, and they were confronting her then. And they were telling her then that was the same season where she had that party at the end, and she bought herself that brand new Lexus for her birthday, and she told them Sister Circle ladies that, y'all remember her speech? She said at the beginning, and this is maybe it was the way it was edited, but this I can only go by what I saw. At the beginning of the speech, she said, crab boil. Thank you, Keisha. They had a crab boil. She said to the ladies of Sister Circle, she said, just when I was giving up on women, y'all taught me what true sisterhood looks like. Now, Quad, you sat in that interview, and this ain't the first time I've heard Quad say this. Quad said this before, but you sat in that interview with Carlos and made it seem like you just decided to thank the ladies from Sister Circle first, and you was gonna give the ladies from Ready to Love their flowers. But let's be clear, if you start off a sentence like that, I don't really give a fuck about the rest you have to say, because what you just said, you just threw a dig at me. You just threw a dig at me. Now, people ain't got to agree with it, but you threw a dig. You said, when I was giving up on women, friendships with women, y'all taught me what true sisterhood looks like. If I were in that crowd, I would move the fuck on too. How else am I supposed to take that? How else was I supposed to take that, y'all? And again, this how I feel. Too feisty. You are clearly a Quad fan, but I love you, girl. But really, be for me, I can't start at Sister Circle. There was a lot that led up. Hold on. Led up to Sister Circle to help them get there. Okay. Quad's full speech at the party with her knowledge and the Married to Medicine was on her YouTube channel for anyone who wants to see the full speech. I saw the full speech, but I still think she took a dig. She still took a dig at the Married to Medicine ladies. She did. She did. She did. And she even said out of her own mouth, see, sometimes you gotta listen to what people are saying. She even said out of her own mouth, Sister Circle, I extended that platform to Dr. Jackie. I extended that platform to Dr. Heavenly. And then she said, I would have extended the platform to Toya if she had anything to talk about, and Simone if we were in a better place. So you're admitting that you did use Sister Circle as a weapon against the ladies, because again, you extended it to the people you were cool with. Now, Nitwit, thank you, because you bring me to my final point. You bring me to my final point. And here's too feisty. Me and you might agree with this one. Me and you might agree on this one. I'm gonna say this too. Now, this is what I am going to say to the ladies of married. And see, I'm even going to end it on a pen for Quan. Pen for Quan. Pen for Quad. I'm gonna end this on a point for Quad. Bravo Production and the ladies of Married to Medicine did Quad a huge disservice in this Gregory situation. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe if anybody else on that show, Toya, Simone, Jackie, Heavenly, hell, even Mariah, were to have said, I was abused, and the man she accused of abusing her admitted that he got physical with her. Now, he never gave us details, but at that reunion, Dr. Gregory admitted that it got physical and that he wasn't proud of it. Now, I queued up the clip if y'all want to hear it, if y'all don't believe me, but the man said it got physical and he is not proud of it. There's no reason in the world why that man should have been extended an opportunity to be on this platform, much less with the woman he admitted to abusing. And I refuse to believe that any other woman on that show would have allowed it to happen and would have stood by. And I don't think production would have done it to anybody else on that show. If Dr. Jackie had said that Curtis had been physical with her, if Dr. Heavenly had said that Dr. Daddy had been physical with her, Simone and Cecil, Toya and Eugene, Mariah and her husband, whoever, I forgot the man's name. There's no other person on that show that production would have brought on that show. At the very least, they owed that woman a phone call. Now, I believe Quad when she says ain't nobody call her. I believe Quad. Now, do I believe that Quad did not know before social media found out? No, I don't. I believe Quad knew before we knew. But I do not believe that anybody on production called her. And at the very least, they owed her that. At the very least. Now, people can say, oh, production doesn't owe you this. Yes, the fuck they do. And I'm sorry to use my language, but yes, they did. That man admitted that he was physical with her. He admitted it. He said it. It doesn't matter if Quad attacked him too. I don't care. I don't care what the physical part was. I don't. And maybe y'all do, and that's fine. I don't care. My point isn't who was right or who was wrong. My point is they had a violent relationship that he admitted to. So my point is, it's not just Quad saying it. It happened. He said it happened. So both of them agree that this was a physical relationship. I don't care who started it. They both agree that this was a volatile relationship. There's no reason in the world why he should have been extended the invitation to be back on this platform. I'm sorry. I don't care. We're talking about women empowerment. We're talking about holding up Black women. We're talking about showing Black women in a positive light. He should not have been invited to this platform without at the very least, a conversation with Quad. Now that I'm with Quad on 120%. And ain't nobody gonna change it. For me. For me. And I can't think of too many other shows where it would have been done either. Let Candy come down here and say Todd put his hands on her. They get a divorce, and 5 years later, you want to bring Todd back on the show and they don't talk to Candy. The fuck? Let Candace say Chris abused, put his hands on her. They get a divorce, and 5 years later, you bring Chris on the show with his new woman, and you don't have a conversation with Candace. That ain't happening. Now, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that Quad is the breakout star of the show and Quad makes Married to Medicine and she's not owed a conversation about that. I can't think of any other show where you call somebody the breakout star, but you don't treat them with the level of respect. That is a very basic. This woman said this man abused her and he admitted that he got fit. Hold on. I'm going to play the clip. Where'd my phone go? Damn it. I'm going to play the clip. It's a real quick clip. It's a real quick clip. Because I got it queued up and everything. Hold on. I'm going to let y'all listen to it. I hope y'all can hear it. I hope y'all can hear it.
Who's rude and negative, nasty, and physically abusive. You tore the television off the wall. You took the battery out of my car one time. You drug me through the house. You ruined my knee. Yes, and I still have pain from it. You put your hand over my mouth and my nose one time, trying to suffocate me. You got in the car and said, I don't care if I kill the both of us, and you put your foot on the gas. We're not going to play this game, Gregory. What? Gregory? We both know who the violent person is. You are. Yeah. You are. Okay. You're both accusing each other of physical abuse? Absolutely, there was. Absolutely. There were times when we got too physical, but I never felt good about it. It hurt me to my heart, hurt me to my soul. I remember in season 1 that there were...
The man said it happened. Now, I ain't about to sit here and play semantics because I wasn't there, so I don't know who started it. I don't know how it started, but at the end of the day, that man, she made a lot of accusations. And he admitted that got physical. Now, like I said, I ain't about to sit here and go back and forth about who started. My point is, why would you bring him on the show without a conversation with Quad? That's my point. Now, Quad might have said, I don't care, bring him on the show. But I think at the very least, she was owed that. Now, that's what I believe. Now, I know people ain't going to agree with me, and that's fine. I still love y'all. I still love y'all. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's not true. J12, aka, that is not true. That was from the reunion show where they were getting divorced. They were divorced. They got divorced after that. And the only time we did see Dr. Greg filmed with the guys once or twice. Once or twice we saw him in a scene with the guys, but that's because he was there and they invited him. We never saw Dr. Gregory as a member of Married to Medicine after that until this season. That is the reunion. That clip was from the reunion, the season they were getting divorced. That is where that clip is from. Maybe they didn't plan on bringing Quad back this season, and that's why she didn't get a call. That's fine, but when you bring her back, she's old. I'm sorry. I still feel like that's a conversation. That's my opinion. I feel like even if that might be true, that maybe they weren't planning on bringing her back, but when you make the decision to bring her back, guess what? Now, in my opinion, now you say, Quad, we worked out this contract situation. Dr. Gregory and Sweet Tea, well, whatever the girl's legal name is, they are a part of the show. They are full-time on the show. Is that going to be an issue? Are you going to be cool to film with these people? That's how I feel. That's my opinion. And I know people ain't going to agree with that, and that's fine. That's fine. Because I done gave y'all the good and the bad. I know people say sometimes I'm biased, but I gave y'all the good and the bad. I done told y'all the things that I think Quad did wrong. I done told y'all, Dr. Heavenly, what I said about that. I done told y'all how I felt about Carlos. I even said that I don't have no problem with them saying they don't want Quad on the show anymore. I don't like how they did it. I don't like how it was done. That's my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, you guys. I thank y'all for being here. It's 277. Shout out to the 277 people in the room. If you are new here, please hit the like button. If you have not, please hit the subscribe button. If you have not hit the like button, please do so at this time. We're going to do a tribe meeting later on this afternoon, child. Yeah, because Quad said she coming to the reunion. But we're going to do a tribe meeting later on this afternoon because y'all know we got to talk about Jonathan and some other things that's been going on. Hey, Trey Jorlane, my love. And I will talk to y'all later.